Alright, so the Ravens were able to hold on to or steal a victory today from the Steelers, however y'all want to look at it. With that being said, I still have no faith whatsoever in Joe Flacco in this offense, yo. He was absolutely horrible all fucking game. Had people running wide open. He was totally fucking missing them. Under the first drive, he was I wrote down first drive, Joe is awful. 0 for 3. One pass was close to the vicinity of where it could have been caught, but it was underthrown to Pitta by about 3 yards. And then same thing happened. The same thing happened on Joe's interception. He saw the blitz coming from the left side. He knew that he didn't have enough people there to block to block the safety. And instead of calling something that would get him out of that, he decides to try and do a sprint right, which he ends up almost running into another guy coming from the outside linebacker coming from the right side, and throws off of his back foot on the run across his body across the field to fucking Pitta, which he underthrew again, but there was a defender standing about 10 feet in front of Pitta and picked it off. Luckily, the guy didn't return it for a touchdown, because that was the only way that Pittsburgh was going to be able to move the ball at all for the first 3.5 quarters of the game. Joe was 18 for 30. I like the 30 number, but he needs to have more completions than 18. He should be like 22 for 30, 23 for 30. But he was 18 for 30, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And of that 240, he was really, if you want to think about it, he was 17 for 29 for 146 yards, something like that. Because that one pass to Wallace, and that was a bad pass, bad ball that he threw too. It was high and way out away from him. Luckily, Wallace got both of his hands on the ball and was able to corral it in, and then ran all the way down the fucking field. But $120 million quarterback should be better than 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I still cannot believe how the whole beginning of the game we were in their side of the field. We were in the red zone, I think 3 times in the first fucking quarter, and didn't score a point. I know we were at least inside of Pittsburgh's 40-yard lines 3 times the first quarter and didn't score a single point. And bad penalties on Stanley. I think Stanley had 2 of them. That one of them pulled us out of field goal range, and something else in that first quarter. But yeah, Joe looks awful. And Ryan Mallett, for that one pass that he threw, looked better than every single pass Joe threw the whole fucking game. Just saying. A couple other things I wrote down. Webb can't catch. He looked better today than he's looked all year long, but he still can't fucking catch. He had 2 balls hit off of his hands. Same thing with Weddle at the end of the game. I think the second to last drive, it would have been the game would have ended 21-7 if Weddle would have caught that fucking ball that hit right off of both of his hands. But yeah, Webb cannot catch. Yeah, at the end of the first half, we get the ball with 1:30 on like our 35, I want to say 30 or 35. Joe throws a 3-yard. No, we run the ball, and it's 2nd and 2 from like I don't know, like our 38 or something. And Joe proceeds to waste 50 seconds between the time the run play stopped to where he waited. I don't know. There was no urgency or anything. He just walked up to the line, got the next play in, threw a 3-yard pass, and then just got in the huddle and just sat there for like 30 seconds. Wasted 50 seconds on 3 yards. Luckily, we were able to, and then Harbaugh blows 2 timeouts back to back. First one, he waits 30 seconds to call, and then he called another one right after it. It's like he has no idea what he's doing when it comes to clock management, and Joe has no idea what he's doing when it comes to urgency of moving the team down the field. the team has 0 football IQ, and oh, the slide, Joe's slide. That was the goofiest looking slide I think I've ever seen. Now, you would think you would know that if you have a big ass metal brace on your left leg, you would slide on your right leg. I mean, that's just common sense. And I'm right-handed, yo, and I played baseball for I don't know, almost 20 years, and I never slid on my left leg. I always slid on my right. I don't know what the fuck possessed him to try and slide on his left leg, but that was the stupidest looking slide I think I've ever fucking seen in my life. But the defense did good, except for in the end they started playing that prevent bullshit and having Tavon Young and them 10, 15 yards off the receiver and just letting them drive it down the field. That pissed me off, yo, because I wanted that fucking shutout. But hey, what can you do? They still won. It didn't look pretty. Never does with Flacco. But alright.